Hello, folks, and welcome to another lesson here on the American Revolution. Today's notes will be primarily on the causes and the effects of the American Revolution. With that said, we're going to go ahead and continue here with the causes. Now, the causes here of the American Revolution, one of which was the British colonies in the Americas. And by the colonies, we're talking about the 13 colonies here that the British had established prior to this revolution. So these colonies here, of course, afforded the uh, British with a variety of goods and products and also cultural exchanges with the natives. Sometimes there were positive interactions as well as some negative interactions between them. Now, the second cause here relates to the British fight. There was a long war between the French and the British known as the French Indian War. And by Indian, we're talking about the natives here of this particular place. Now, on one side, you had the British, on the other, the French, and there were a variety of native um, tribes here involved. And you could see a list here from both the those that allied themselves with the British and those that allied themselves with the French. Now, on this picture here that you see here, you see some of the actual natives getting together and actually speaking to and forming an alliance with the actual French. So in this particular one, you see a conference between the French and the native leaders around a ceremonial fire here. Now, another cause here will be once this war was over and the British did win. However, when they won this war, King George III, though, needed more money for his kingdom. And one way to get that money was taxes. And some of the most famous taxes, known as acts here, would be the Stamp Act and the Tea Act. Now, one of the last and final causes that we'll discuss today is eventually, because of the taxes, because of the unfair treatment by the king, according to the colonists, known as the violation of their natural rights, as described by John Locke, the colonists revolted and declared independence. And that's what we now know as the Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1776. Now, some of the effects of the revolution, once the revolution itself took hold and took place, eventually the colonists would win this particular conflict. Now, the British lost the land, and that is a really major effect. And you can see here some of the land that was won to the new place that would now be called the United States of America. But it wouldn't be called the United States of America until 1793. That's another effect here. So the effect is in 1783, excuse me, the Treaty of Paris was signed and made the USA an official country, as you can see here, 1783. Now, in this particular picture, it's a really interesting picture here. This is Benjamin West's painting. The delegation to the Treaty of Paris, which included John Jay, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Henry Lawrence, and William Temple Franklin. However, if you notice in this picture, there is this blank area here that was supposed to be Benjamin West was waiting for the British delegation to also post, but they didn't want to. So this is what was left of this particular painting. Now, the third effect here is that eventually in 1787, a constitutional government was created. So we have a constitution that arises from this particular revolution, and that was separated out the government into three branches. You have the executive, the presidential powers were outlined in this document. The legislative or congressional powers were also documented here, and the judicial or the judges in the court system, which was created September 17, 1787, and later ratified and approved by the rest of the colonies or states at that point. Now, the effects number 4 here was the U.S. Bill of Rights were later included into the Constitution, which we now know as the first 10 amendments. And these first 10 amendments were known as the Bill of Rights, and these were very crucial to give people certain individual rights through the U.S. Currently, we now have 27 amendments. With that said, folks, we have one last thing to do, and that is to do a quick write. And today's quick write is the following. Why are the effects of the American Revolution important to our current day society? So please think about that. Reflect on that. Read your notes and give me 3 to 4 complete sentences on this particular question. Thank you. Once again, thank you for watching. This has been sponsored by Mr. Perez Ramon's Learning Studios.